I mean, if you turn on, if you look up news or media or you look up Christianity on, I mean, if you do it on a YouTube that you're not subscribed to and it doesn't know your algorithm, it will often show you very conservative stuff, very Christian nationalist stuff. I mean, that's what's happening right now. You'll see a lot of that, and these folks have great studios and big churches and big followers and big supporters, and they're able to get their word out there. They're able to talk about this stuff. So it's really hard to defend the gospel with context and scholarship and love and grace when you're completely being overshadowed by this message and this kind of giant that seems to be coming over and dominating in Christianity. And that's why, for me, it's starting to feel really hopeless at times. Sometimes I'm wondering, like, why do I, should I continue to do this, or should I just go do something else and just make this personal? Maybe I could become whatever, work in a shop, work in a factory, try comedy or something. Um, and you'd be surprised how often folks, even in my own world, sometimes subtly, sometimes clearly, kind of tell me to, maybe you should give up. Maybe you should move on. This really isn't paying the bills. This really isn't doing what you need to do. You're not as popular as you were in, 2010. Times have changed. It might be time to move on with that. So not only is it my own doubts about what's happening in the world and what's happening, but I start going, like, does revolution really make a difference? Are we really making a difference? Can we make a difference? There's so much that we can't do, because of limitations of support and finances and things like that, which we could do years ago. Some folks are like, well, maybe just start talking about other things and kind of ease your way out of religion, and not talk about Jesus so much. It's kind of creepy anyway. It's kind of weird. Why don't you move away from that? So I will tell you, it is hard to keep going at times and continue to do this. And I share that with you because I feel like a lot of you are feeling the same way, from the conversations that a lot of us have on Instagram and Facebook and in the direct messages and things like that. It seems like a lot of folks are feeling like they want to give up. And at this point, unfortunately, we're not the greatest organized group of people in the world, but there are some great people doing this stuff. And we'll talk about that in a few minutes. And now with so much of the politics playing a part in this, and when we have a president who's just continuously causing one emergency and one crazy thing after the other, it shakes you. And I know there are some folks who come to revolution who are like, hey, I'm conservative, I'm Republican leaning. Listen, if you were here 6 months ago, I was given a hard time to the liberals and to the Democrats as well. I grew up in the Democratic. Some people got angry at me and left revolution because they thought I was being too harsh on my Democrat brothers and sisters. So I'm an equal opportunist. I do try to stay consistent within the truth and not scapegoat certain groups and be like, oh, well, this group's just perfect and beautiful. I don't think there's any group that has it all together. So we need to be, take honest assessments of who we are and what we are and what we're doing. So with all these politics involved, it makes it even that more complicated. And it can be a bit ostracizing, ostracizing with loved ones, ostracizing with people online. It could just, you can feel ostracized. And what I want to say is you're not alone in that today. I'm feeling it as well, but as I said before, we don't try, or at least we try not to scapegoat.